I'm Shahira with number metric 278268. Now I will present about the executive summary. In this part, I will explain to all of you about civil servants, corruption, and also the cronyism. What is civil servant? Civil servants are known as people who work with the government and have been offered various benefits such as income protection due to critical illness, pension, holidays, bonuses, and others. Next, according to the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC), corruption is defined as the act of giving or getting any pleasure or reward in the form of cash or in kind of high value for performing a task related to his or her job description. Lastly, cronyism is the abuse of power or malpractice by people with authority over getting jobs, promotion, or business agreements for their friends and relatives. Corruption and cronyism are two of the most significant threats to good governance, particularly when it comes to the public sectors. The behaviors are an injustice to society, lead to a lack of transparency and accountability in government and commercial affairs.
Hello everyone, my name is Wanolida Raihan and my metric number is 280947. I will be presenting the case summary. We bring to you some cases related to corruption in Malaysia. First, SRC International. Our former Prime Minister, Datuk Seri Najib Razak, siphoned off $42 million. SRC International was established to deal with resources used in generating electricity. In the second case, Malaysia Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) reported a crony of civil servants followed by private workers, civilians, politicians and some individuals from GLCs who forfeited assets worth more than 1 million. During the same period, MACC received 1,764 pieces of information related to corruption. Another case is the biggest financial scandal that happened in Malaysia, which is 1MDB. Not just corruption exists, there is also money laundering, bribery, abuse of power and others. This scandal involves Datuk Seri Najib Razak, his wife Datin Seri Rosmah Mansor, Jolo, also businessmen and high-ranking people from many countries. This scandal is still under investigation.
Next is analyze. SRC International. The case of siphoning of RM42 million from SRC International highlights corruption within government-linked company, GLC. SRC International, a subsidiary of 1MDB, was embroiled in financial controversies. The former Prime Minister, Datuk Seri Najib Razak, was found to be the mastermind behind the embezzlement. He was subsequently convicted, imprisoned and fined. This case exposed corruption at the highest echelons of government and raised concern about the inadequate accountability and oversight in GLCs. MACC operation. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) has made significant strides in investigating and apprehending individuals involved in corruption. They have successfully arrested civil servants, private workers, civilians, politicians, and individuals from government-linked company (GLC), indicating the corruption spans across different sectors and levels of society. The MACC's efforts are further demonstrated by the sizes of assets and funds, showcasing their commitment to combating corruption. 1MDB scandal. The 1MDB scandal, considered the largest in Malaysian history, encompasses corruption, money laundering, and false declaration by officials. It transcends Malaysia, involving individuals from countries such as Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and 4 others. Investigating and holding all responsible parties accountable is a daunting task due to the complexity and international nature of the scandal. Key figures like Najib Razak, Rosmah Mansor, and Jolo are implicated, with Jolo reportedly fleeing to another country. Cartel issue. The cases highlight a cartel issue involves civil servant, police officer, contractor, and others who embezzle money from government projects. This case exposed the passive corruption within government system and the collaboration between various parties to facilitate corrupt activities. The significant transaction amount since 2016 suggests that such corruption can persist from an extended period before being uncovered. Demonstration. To address corruption and cronyism in Malaysia, focusing on preventive measure, enforcement and promoting transparency and inclusion, here are some suggestions to tackle the issue. Strengthen institutions. Improve anti-corruption agencies' independence, capacity and resources for effective investigation and prosecution, avoiding political interference. Legislative reforms. Update corruption law, cover prevention, investigation, asset recovery, and impose stricter penalties. Whistleblower protection. Implement robust mechanisms for protecting whistleblowers, promoting information, and ensuring anonymity. Public awareness and education. advocate for corruption awareness and promote integrity, ethics, and transparency through education in school, university, and public institutions. International cooperation. Collaborate with international organizations and government to effectively investigate cross-border corruption cases and strengthen extraordinary agreements. Asset recovery. Develop a framework for identifying, freezing, and recovering assets from corrupt practice. Transparency and accountability. Increase transparency in government processes through open data, audit, and independent oversight. Ethical standard and code of conduct. Enforce ethical standard and code of conduct for civil servant, politician, and public office. Engage civil society and media. Promote civil society, independent media, and investigative journalism for accountability and transparency. Technological resolution. Utilize technology for transparency, efficiency, and anonymously corruption reporting.
Next, I'm going to explain about the factors of civil servant corruption and cronyism. The first factor is politicization of the civil service that can lead to corruption. When civil service positions are given based on the political allegiance or other criteria unrelated to merit, it encourages corruption. This is because civil servants who are appointed based on political loyalty are more likely to be obedient to their political master than to the general public that they are tasked to serving. They may also be inclined to favor their political supporters or demand payment in exchange for their supports. Moving on to the next point, poor remuneration and compressed salary scales can also lead to corruption among civil servants because when civil servants are poorly compensated, they are more likely to engage in corrupt activities in order to supplement their income. This is especially true in countries where there is a significant pay disparity between civil servants and those in private sector. Compressed salary scale can also lead to corruption because it means that there is not a lot of difference in pay between low-level and high-level civil servants. This can make high-level civil servants feel that they are not being compensated fairly for their experience and skills, and they may also be more likely to engage in corrupt activities in order to increase their income. For the third point, lack of accountability in public organization may also lead to corruption because civil servants may feel that they can get away with engaging in corrupt activities without facing any consequences. There are a number of reasons why public organizations may lack accountability, including lack of internal control, political interference, and weak legal frameworks. In addition, corruption may also happen because of weak institutions that enforce ethical and accountability standards. This is because business and organization will not be held accountable for their actions, and corrupt individuals will be able to act in impunity. For example, in the absence of strong institutions, there may be no regulations to guide businesses and organizations. This can lead to corruption as business and organizations may take advantage of the lack of regulation to engage in unethical behavior. Besides, in some cases, the institutions that are supposed to be enforcing ethical and accountability standards may themselves be corrupt. This can make it more difficult to combat corruption as there is no one to hold on corrupt individuals accountable. Next, excessive and opaque regulation also will lead to corruption. Overbearing and ambiguous legislation can provide an ideal environment for corruption. This is because it can be challenging for organizations and individuals to understand what is expected for them, which can create confusions and uncertainty that dishonest authorities can exploit. The last one that can lead to corruption is power and opportunity, which is the two key factors that can lead to corruptions. People in position of power have the opportunity to influence the distribution of resources and to make decisions that can benefit themselves or others. This power can be used to demand bribes or to grant favors in exchange for personal gain. Corruption also can occur when there are opportunities for people to take advantage of their position or to exploit weakness in the system. For example, if there are weak oversight mechanisms or if regulations are not enforced, this can create opportunities for corrupt officials to engage in illegal activities. Thus, the combination of power and opportunity can create a breeding ground for corruption.
Hello everyone, my name is Shamira binti Mumazarubi. My metric number 281023. I will talk about the impact civil servant corruption and cronyism. Civil servant corruption and cronyism among government employees can have an intensive and far-reaching impact on various sectors of society. Here are some of the ways it may have an impact on society. Corruption, according to Makinda and Nukdu 2014, is a worldwide phenomenon that cuts across faith, religious group, and governmental system. It exists in all governments and may be found in democratic and dictatorial systems, as well as feudal, capitalist, and socialist economies. The impact of the civil servant corruption and cronyism can affect various groups of people such as the general public, investors, future generation, and government's institution. Furthermore, the corruption and cronyism of civil servants may have a significant impact on society, influencing many sectors of life. There are more detail on the impact of the civil servant corruption and impact model of psychology impact, humanitarian impact, ecology impact, and security logical impact. We took servant corruption and cronyism to have significant impact on Malaysia. Bribery, embezzlement, fraud, cronyism, and big rigging are common in both the public and business sector. The negative impact of political leadership and business political culture that tolerates and promote corruption, particularly through money politics, has reduced political resolve to fight large-scale corruption. The effectiveness anti-corruption measure in Malaysia to weak enforcement, political leadership, and money politics.
Hello Doctor, I'm Madhuri Karnagaran and my matric number is 278040. Now, I'm going to present about the solution to overcome the problem. The first solution is enforcing the existing law. By reviewing and amending the law, legal framework can be strengthened in order to contribute to corruption-free society. For example, government need to introduce stricter regulations for those who are giving and receiving bribes with clear definitions and severe penalties such as imprisonment, fines, and so on. Moreover, provide funding to anti-corruption agencies like Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission's MACC in order to conduct proper investigations and gather reliable evidence without external influence. The second solution is implementing good training method and fair pay structure. By providing extensive training programs, they can develop a strong understanding of ethical behaviors. These educations can raise awareness and discourage unethical practices. Additionally, offering fair compensations can help to avoid from engaging in unethical activities to meet their financial needs. The third solution is role of media. It's important in uncovering corruption issues and raising public awareness. Social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram and so on have become a powerful tools to share information and facilitating public discussions. Therefore, media also encourage citizens to voice out their concerns and actively engage in discussions about issues. Then, consistently upholding integrity and transparency is crucial for maintaining public trust and fighting corruptions and cronyism issues. Therefore, public administrators can facilitate clients' feedback by conducting informal surveys to measure satisfactions with their service and can identify the area of improvements. This feedback can help to address concern and strengthen the accountability among the public servants. The last solution is whistleblower protections. In Malaysia, legislation should include protections against terminations, harassment, or other bad actions for those who come forward with information on corruptions. It's equally important to provide support to whistleblowers and encourage their cooperations. For example, the Whistleblower Protection Act 2010 provides legal protection for them. As a result, they will feel empowered to report the issues without any fear to higher authorities. That's all from me. Thank you.
What lesson can be taken away from this discussion? First, political leaders should not engage in corruption as they are people who protect the country and the people in it from falling. Second, citizens should be more knowledgeable and wiser, not to be manipulated by leaders who will use racial sentiments, religion, slander, and other negative methods to win the election. Third, everyone needs to practice virtue ethics. Civil servants, politicians, or even mere citizens should be honest and transparent in their daily job and lives. Malaysians should learn from Lebanon because people in there are starving and impoverished due to corruption, large foreign debts, and other political agendas. This vicious cycle of corruption and cronyism need to be stopped so that we can avoid an economic crisis, save future generations, and live in peace.
In conclusion, the culture of corruption and cronyism among civil servants has a negative influence on the development of the nation while undermining public trust. It is crucial to note that corruption affects both the public and private sectors and is not just confined to civil servants. This might lead to unfair competitions and impede economic development. Various laws and acts have been made by the constitutions regarding corruption. More efforts need to be made to ensure that they are effective and sustainable.